A faffing around video. Surprise, surprise. Um, so I've been prepping onions. I've got lots of trimmings of onions, and then I was thinking the other day about making some brown sauce from scratch, and I was kind of thinking it's a bit expensive to make them from scratch because you have to put in some tamarind paste and some dates and then some spices and all that kind of stuff. And I was kind of thinking I'll make a little bit of an onion pickle, which is just onions and a few other things. And I was kind of thinking the onion pickle is not that far removed from the brown sauce, although it's just got whole onions in it and it's chopped onions. I was just kind of thinking, well, maybe I could just puree the onion pickle and turn it into like a brown sauce-ish type of thing. And seeing I've got some onion trimmings, I'm going to have a go at that. So there is 500 grams of onion trimmings, but whole onions. I'm using trimmings, but whole onions, and then some dark soy sauce. So I reckon, oop, that was way too much. That came out far too easily. So that's probably more than I wanted to put in already. So there was probably a dessert spoon in there. What do I reckon? Yeah, there's probably already a dessert spoon in there already, so we don't want any more of that. So I'll do something else with that. We can always add it later. So a dessert spoon of dark soy sauce or light soy sauce, and then a dessert spoonful of Worcestershire sauce, and then we're going to cook that down, and I put in some cheap malt vinegar. So this stuff is like 20p from the supermarket. It's not the expensive stuff. It's all the same because we're going to be cooking with it. We're not putting it on as chips. It doesn't need to be anything special. So heat on, bring up the temperature, and then what's going to happen is, hopefully, by the time the liquid has reduced, by the time the liquid has reduced, the onion should be nice and tender, and we'll be able to puree it down into a puree, and then see how it turns out. And then I'm going to add probably some sugar to it, and if it's not dark enough, we're going to put in some gravy browning as well, so it'll kind of make it a better colour. It might be a little bit insipid colour. So we'll put the lid on. Yes, let's start with the lid on. If I can find the lid. I found the lid. We're not going to overcook it, so it doesn't really matter. So I just kind of want, let's put the lid on, bring it up to the boil, and then slowly simmer it. And then if we need to evaporate off some of the liquid, we'll do that a little bit later on. And then I will contemplate having to get that back into there. But anyway, so there we go. Oh, that tamarind's out of date. I really should use that. That is 5 years out of date. No, 6 years out of date. That's how long ago I made some brown sauce. So we really should do something with that. It'll be fine. The jar's still sealed. Maybe we'll make some proper brown sauce with that. But anyway, it was quite expensive. I just kind of think, do we really need it? But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. We'll cook that down, see how it turns out, and we'll see how we go. Right, it's cooked, and it's tender, and we've lost quite a lot of the liquid. So, what does it taste like? Okay, so in my other recipe, it would be for about 300 millilitres of vinegar. It'd be about 250 grams worth of sugar. That's 250 grams worth of sugar, and I think that's a bit too much. So let's put less sugar in than that. So let's put in 150 grams worth of sugar. So that's half the amount of sugar to the amount of vinegar. So 200 millilitres of vinegar and 150 grams worth of sugar. And we'll give it it's just not going to want to stretch. Let's give it a puree down and see what happens. And give it a taste. I'm going to put some pepper in as well. Yep, turn it on. off heating it and melting the sugar. So we'll heat it. I'll heat it back up. So we'll make sure that we melt the sugar. Sit on there. Yeah, so that's plastic, that's metal. We don't bang plastic on metal, otherwise it cracks it. And I quite like that blender. I've had it a long time. So we'll heat this. So the as the sugar melts, it will give us a like more liquid, really. So, and then we might just be able to pure it a little bit easier. Otherwise, we're going to have to put it into the food processor, which I don't really want to do because it makes a lot of washing up. But certainly want to be dark. I certainly want it darker than that. Let's have a taste now. Excuse fingers. Smells pickly. Might not need any more sugar. Might not need any more sugar. It certainly wants to be thinner than that, but we're going to add some. We might add a bit more. We're going to add some gravy browning. We're going to put some pepper in. Put some pepper in now. Turn that down. I want some salt in as well. So I want that much pepper. I want 2 good pinches of coarse salt. Yeah, it probably wants to be thinner than that. If we're going to make it like a brown sauce type of onion ketchup. There we go. Call it onion ketchup, can't we? Black onion ketchup. Maybe. There we go. So do that, lid on. Just heat it through, melt sugar, and then we'll give it a taste. Add another puree. Right, I think that's alright. It's going to need watering down. So let's just wipe that so it doesn't make a mess of the bottom of the pan. So that there. It's going to need some more vinegar in it to water it down. It's going to need some gravy browning to make it a little bit more pleasant colour. So we'll go for a teaspoon of gravy browning while we're here. Maybe 2. No, just 1 to start off with. Just 1 to start off with. I need something to put the gravy browning in, so it doesn't make a mess of everything. And then it's going to need a little bit more vinegar. How much in there? There's about 100 millilitres in there, so let's just use some more liquid. So that's about 50 ml. That's about 50 ml, and I reckon that should make it a good consistency. And then we'll give it a taste. We might need to put it through a sieve, and we might need to add some more soy sauce and some more lean parents. Right, we can put in some more gravy browning. So another teaspoon of gravy browning. Like that. That's a better colour. Excuse fingers. Right. Another. It's about half. All very technical, eh? And then another half of that. I think that will do. bit more vinegar. So that's about an extra 100 ml of vinegar we put in. And then you don't have to. Definitely put it through a sieve. Need a bit more sugar now. Should have put some water in. That's what I should have done. So a bit of sugar. 25 grams worth of sugar. So look. 25 grams looks like that. Right, I'll put it through a sieve and then we'll see what it looks like afterwards. I mean, when I mean put it through a sieve, I want it to be thinner and smoother. So I'm going to get a sieve, I'm going to put a bowl and I'm going to push that liquid through there. Which is going to be a bit of a messy job. But we'll see how we go. That. So it'll change the taste of it as well. So, like, think of a thick soup tastes differently like a thick carrot soup. Chunky carrot soup tastes differently to a smooth carrot soup. Think of it that way. So things taste differently when they're hot and when they're cold and when they've got a different kind of consistency. So I'll also change the flavour when it's cool as well. So if you haven't done this before, sieve, spoon in the bottom, and then just push it through. Looks like brown sauce, and it just get rid of all the. It will just puree any big bits through the sieve, and any bits that are not particular that can't be pureed will be left in the top of the sieve. So you see what I'm doing? There's sauce underneath. So I'll be back when I've done it. Let's pour. Right, so I pushed it through the sieve. This takes some time, you know. Blenders don't, even food processors, don't make it super smooth. Even those ninja things on TV, like those bullet blenders, they don't get everything really smooth. The only way to get things really smooth is to put it through a sieve. So that's that, stir it around. But you can see, those are all the bits that didn't want to go through the sieve, which is fine. Right, taste again. That's really nice. Oh, how much is it? I don't want to. I think that'll be okay as consistency. I think that'll be okay. I don't want it to go jammy. We can always let it down. We can always add a bit of water to it later on. But I think that's good. I don't think it needs any more seasoning. It'll taste different when it's cold, and it'll taste different after a week, and it'll taste different after a month again. So I've got some old brown sauce bowls, so we'll sterilise those and we'll pour it into those and put a cork in it, and then we'll have a little bit saved on the side, and we'll see what it tastes like when it's cold in the morning. Right, let's give it a taste. It's sealed. That's an alright consistency, isn't it? That's about the consistency of brown sauce. And what does it taste like? It's a brown sauce substitute. That works. Yeah. So, if you don't want to faff around, well, if you want to make some brown sauce on the cheap, there you go. Onions, a bit of malt vinegar, some sugar, some Worcestershire sauce and some soy sauce. It gives you a good, decent substitute. That's all right, is that? I'll be having that with a pork pie when I buy pork pie. Yeah, so kind of like buying tamarinds and dates and things. It's kind of quite expensive. But yeah, onions, basically onions with vinegar, and then anything you've got in the cupboard that'll be kind of suitable. So like a bit of yeast extract in there, like Marmite, Vegemite, that type of thing. That'd work. Light soy sauce, dark soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, kind of whatever you kind of got. If you want to spice it up a little bit of Tabasco, but basically just onions and vinegar and sugar, and there we go. That's a winner. Well done, me.